Okay, so we are on week 2 of our Jen Stark psychedelic art. So everything is colored in. As you can see, some of my craftsmanship is a little because you can see the marker lines, but I have a way to help you with that. But first things first, you're going to do two things. One, you're going to outline with your permanent marker where you're going to cut. Well, make sure that you have your line exactly where you want it. Some of this I'm like, it's okay. All right, step 2. After your bottom is outlined of where you're going to cut, you need to find a place with your permanent marker to sign. And usually you want your signature to kind of like fit in with your art. So I'm going to find a spot that I think will be helpful. I'll write my name here. All right. So outlined, signed, cut. So you're going to cut on your black thick line, nice and neat. This is craftsmanship too. And you're going to cut out your splatter drips. I should say drips. Okay. So if you see, I'm like moving my paper and I'm cutting nice and neat. I'm making sure that I'm on my line. And these are all going to come together for one big piece of artwork. So I'm pretty excited to see this all up. And if you're working at home, that's okay too. You can make more than one and put yours together. Okay. All cut out nice and neat. All right, last step. Let's see, one spot I missed. Is that any of those areas that you see that have like marker line, what we're going to do is called water marker over them. And you're going to start with the lightest color first. So I'm going to look at my yellow and I'm going to see if there's any spots I want to kind of fix with my yellow. I'm just going to put some water on a paintbrush and kind of go over top of it. Then I can go to the next darkest color after I rinse my brush off with just plain water. Maybe go to my orange and just go over top of it, and that'll help to get rid of all those lines that you saw there. Next color, wash my brush out. See, I got a little bit of orange in my water now. My red. And you don't want a lot of water, you just want enough just to blend those brush marks. Kind of blend it together. All right. Now the time you have to really, really clean your brush off good is in between the red and like your green. So go into my green. See how it's changing it? It's kind of blending it. Take your time. Just like one thing of water, a little bit. That's going to help to get rid of all those marker lines, okay? And that's the last thing you're going to do for the day. Let's finish this up. Your water marker. Now, as you can see, some of it is bleeding on or blending together. That's okay. If you don't like it, I'll show you another trick. So, get all these lines off. So cool. See how they're just disappearing, just with a little bit of water. Kind of doing like a swirly motion. All right. So, for example, like this. You can go back in with your marker and add more color. You also want to do the darker color. Or wait for it to dry, and then you can go back in with your marker. That's like what I recommend, is for you to wait for it to dry. But yeah, see, I'm just doing like these little tiny circly motions. Pretty cool. Now I have no lines. And it actually, I promise it looks better in person than it does on the camera, but we'll work on what we got. My purple's actually pretty good, so I might not even do my purple. But anything like that just adds a little bit more of a dynamic to your artwork. All right, and that is your last week for this project. You can kind of blend them together, back and forth. All right, so finish this up today, and hopefully you'll get to see it all put together either this year or when you come back next year. Remember, don't go back to your lightest color. Make sure you clean off your brush because it's going to get pretty messy if you do that. But I kind of just want to blend it. So it goes from like, there you go. And you can also use dry fingers or dry paper towel. Kind of go back and forth. All right, but that is all the steps for today. Can't wait to see these all finished. Hope you enjoy.